Hello, welcome to today's Excel tricks. In this session, we are going to look at how to create bins in Excel and specifically how to use pivot tables to create bins. This is how bins work. For example, these are the loans that are going bad in one of microfinance, and we have said these are just anonymized data. So don't think that any name belongs to someone else or someone. So having said that, in this feature or in this column, I have the principal amount. I want to see the relationship between the loans which are going bad and maybe the principal amount that the customer have taken. So I have the principal amount 1.3, 1.2 and so on and so forth. And now if I want to do the analysis with this column, one of the analysis that I want to make is what are the frequencies between given numbers that are having some specific counts. Let's do it. So let me create a new sheet here and say bins. All right, bins, because I want to create bins here. So go to data, and around here, right, with this data, I want to create a pivot table. So I insert pivot table, this range, and now I want to have this pivot table in a specific area that is around this bin, and select this area and say okay, and boom, my pivot table is created. Now the column that I want to analyze is this principal amount column. I can bring this in the row. So I have someone who has taken 500,000, 521, 637, 650, and so on and so forth. I want to check the count of these values. So how many people have taken 500,000? How many have taken 521,000? So this is the sum now. Let me get the count of those values. Go to value field setting and choose count and say okay, good. So now I can see only one customer has taken 500,000. There were 3 customers who have taken 700,000 and so on. And of course this list is long. I have 2 customers who have taken 1.2 million and so on. And as I've said, this list is long and this might not be very helpful. I want to see some categories like how many customers have taken between 500,000 to maybe 600,000, in between 600,000 to 700,000 and so on. So to get that value, I'm going to create a bin using pivot table. I right click on these values, one of the cell, and go to group. By default it has got a starting point 500,000, that is the smallest amount, 3.5 million the largest value. I want to increase by 100,000, so I can edit around here 100,000 and say okay, good. So I have 2 customers who have taken between 500,000 to 599 and 99, 999, 600 to 707 and so on. Now you can see our data is more manageable and we can easily analyze what customers have taken which values by creating these bins. To make it more interesting, I also want to see the schemes that these customers are coming from. So you can again bring the scheme name final into the row so that you have something like, for example, 500,000 to 599, 999, we have 2 customers. And one of them is from Administration Police, the other guy is from Isiolo County Government. 600 to 699, we have again 2. One of them is Kenya Police, the other one is Teacher Service Commission. 700,000 to 799, 999, they were 7. Department of Defense have 1, Kenya Police have 2, Kenya Prison Service have 2, Teacher Service Commission have 2. And for 1 million to 1,999,000 we have 1. Department of Defense, so on. So this data now looks better than how it has been. So that is how we create bins in pivot table in Excel. Thank you for joining and enjoy learning.